Hey guys, in this video I am going to explain you how to do automation task using manifest file on Puppet environment. So this will help you to learn how to use and write the syntax of Puppet manifest files to understand how to manage your complete infrastructure servers using Puppet manifest files. Before going forward, let me give you a small overview about Puppet manifest. Later, I will give you a demo in practical. So what is Puppet manifest? Manifests are nothing but it's a files we create with the extensions of .pp at the Puppet master server end under etc/puppet/manifest directory. So .pp means Puppet policy, which has the configuration details to be managed in the format of declarative language, where we declare all the resource types status to be managed. Resource might be files, packages, users, services, and so on. So if you want to change something related to package resources like remove a package, then we have to define the syntax as to remove the package in this manifest file. According to this manifest file, all the Puppet agent nodes will react according to this file, and we'll see how to write that syntax in detail. So this is a continuation of our Puppet tutorials. In the previous videos we have explained you about what is Puppet and how Puppet works and basic stuffs, and also we have shown you how to install Puppet master server and Puppet agents. Links related to this session are mentioned in the descriptions. Refer those links. That would be easier for you to understand this session much better from basics. If you feel something I have missed or you wanted to know more about something else, please leave your comments and subscribe our YouTube channel for more updates. And you are watching LearnEthicGuide.net tutorials. So this is my lab diagram on which I am going to show you this demo. Currently I have two nodes, one is my Puppet master and other one is my Puppet client. But let's take an example scenario that we have 1000+ servers which are connected with our Puppet master server, and we have a requirement to do some operation changes to manage your all 1000 servers. That requirements are to modify a file called etc/motd, and we need to append some data, and other requirement is to stop the postfix services in all servers if it is running. So these are my requirements. I am going to perform these changes in all my infrastructure servers. So in all servers we have already installed Puppet agents and connected with our Puppet master. So you can refer our previous video how to install Puppet master and Puppet agent. Now what are the actions we perform in order to do these requirements in a single server if we don't have any automation softwares like Puppet? Mainly we do these below actions by logging to a single server, and we'll perform some actions. For example, if you wanted to add a content in the etc/motd file, we will ensure whether the file present or not. If it is present, then we will do the required changes. If we need, we will change the file permissions. These are the manual action we perform in a single server. Again, for the service postfix, what we will do, we will ensure whether the service exists or not. If exists, ensure it is running or not. If running, then we'll stop it manually. This is what we perform for a single server. So assume that for 1000 servers, how much time it will take and how many resources we need to perform this action. But when we have automation softwares like Puppet or Ansible or some other automation softwares, this will help you to do these automations from a centralized server. So let's do these actions by writing the syntax in the Puppet manifest file. I am going to show you now. So this is how the syntax would be. We need to create a file with the extension of .pp under etc Puppet manifest directory, and the syntax is you have to start with node space default within the bracket you have to define or declare the resource status. Normally this is how the syntax will looks like. First you need to give resource type. Further, within the brace you have to call the title of the resource type, then the argument or attribute followed by your value of its. And the example I have given below, resource type is service, and I'm calling that resource type is postfix, so it is easy for us to identify or troubleshoot anything. So I call that as a postfix. I'm going to perform something related to postfix services, and argument is ensure, and status should be stopped. So ensure the status should be stopped. If the status of the postfix service is running, automatically my Puppet will stop the service because it should be stopped. This is what the status I have declared in this configuration file, right? So ensure if it is stopped. If it is running at the agent, automatically it will get stopped because we have defined the status is stopped. Also enable equal to false, which means it should be disabled. If not, after the reboot my agent will start the services, right? So I have to disable as well. So these are the basic example of manifest file for stopping the service of postfix. And if you don't know what are the parameters or what are the arguments having for a single resources, for example for a service you don't know what are the arguments like ensure, enable, you may not aware of these things. So what you can do is there is a help command, puppet space resource space hyphen hyphen help. So it will list you the number of resource types available like service, packages, user, execute, mount. So there are number of resource types. It will give you the list of that. Once you have got the resource types, again you can get a help to know what are the parameters you have for a particular resources. So I will show you all these things. Let me log into my server so I can write a simple example of these, and I will show you how to make it apply at the client end. So this is my server. Let me get into that directory, etc puppet and manifest. Here if you see there is no files existing under this directory. I am going to create one puppet policy file in the name of site.pp. Just open this file, and here you have to write the declaration. Okay, so I just give the basic syntax and I will replace it accordingly. Normally your syntax would be resource type, open brace, title, and the next line argument 1, and status of that value, and argument 2 value, and close the brace. So this is the syntax. So to perform our requirement to replace the MRTD file's content as well as to stop the services, how do I mention it? The resource type of a file is file, and within the brace I have to define the resource title. So I call as it is file etc motd, and again argument. So argument would be content, my, and value is my testing content, and close the brace. So the resource type of file is completed. Now I am going to declare the resource type service. So service name is postfix, and arguments are ensure, stopped, and it should be the enable status should be false, and close it. So this is how we write the syntax. So I am just removing this. So now when you declare these kind of resource types, you have to define the node statement. Okay, so I will tell you why. In the first line, we have to define to apply these changes for all default nodes which are connected to Puppet master server. So the syntax is default, and end of that you have to close this. This is how you have to write the syntax. Node space default, within the brace you have to declare all the resource types. Alright, so what happens when you write this kind of manifest file to manage your infrastructures, it will apply these changes within the statement for all default nodes which are connected to a Puppet master server. But if you want to do these changes only for a specific server, then you have to change this default to specific node name. For example, I give in this format, which what happens only to this specific node the following changes will happen. Okay, so this is how you have to write the manifest file. Alright, so let me save this. This is quite easy. So let me save this file and we'll test this configuration at the client end. Before that, let me show you how did I know the resource type and its arguments. Okay, I will show you that. Let me save this now. So there is a command, as I told you before, puppet resource hyphen types. So this will give you the list of resource types available on my Puppet master server. From beginning, if you see, I have the resource types Agios, computer, cron, execute, file, file bucket, group, host, mount, mail list. So I have used file and services. So these are the two types I have used in my example. So now if you want to know the parameters of these resource types, Puppet resource service postfix. So for this, with respect to this service, I have the two parameters. One is ensure and enable. Okay, so if I'm going to know the file resource types, for example related to MOTD, what are the parameters I can give? So resource is file and etc MOTD, I can check ensure whether it is present or not. Now if the file is present, then what are the changes I can perform? I can check ensure, I can check the content, I can check the created time, group, mode, mtime, owner, type. All these arguments can be used if the file is present. If the file is not present, then I have to ensure whether it is present. So this is how I can get the list of parameters available for a single resources. Okay, this is how I got the information and I have updated in my site.pp content and all the stuffs. Clear? Okay, so hope you have got an idea how to write a manifest file, and now we'll test the configuration at the client end. So this is my client. It is connected to my Puppet master server. By default, all the agents will go to the Puppet master for every 30 minutes of an interval. So every 30 minutes, every agent nodes will reach the Puppet master and will try to get the manifest file or modules or any other configuration changes. Okay, it will check for the configuration file. According to that, if the node is present, according to that statement, the changes will happen at the client end. Okay, so if you want to override this 30 minutes, because I cannot wait till 30 minutes. Okay, so if you wanted to check immediately to override the 30 minutes of interval, there is a command to manually check. It will manually give a request to the Puppet master for any new manifest files are appended or not. Okay, the command is puppet agent -test. So what will happen? Normally, as I told you before, puppet agents will give request to puppet master to check any changes are there for every 30 minutes of interval. If you wanted to override this option manually, run this command. Let me give this. Okay, so it has got some information. Notice MOTD file content should be my testing content. It has been appended. And again, with respect to services, it should be running to stopped. Clear? So the changes are done. Let me check. First test is my MOTD. Yes, I have the content, my testing content. Clear? Now, my status of postfix is inactive, which means it stopped. So finally, our configuration changes are applied on the client end. Even if you have 1000+ servers, automatically these changes will be happen in a less time. So this is how we use and write puppet manifest files to manage our infrastructure servers. So this is how we manually override the option to check or to give a request to the puppet master. And if you wanted to change this interval of 30 minutes to lesser 15 minutes or longer 1 hour, so just open your configuration file, and here you have to give a parameter called run interval equal to 1 hour, and if you want 15 minutes, then give 15 minutes. So this is how you can override your interval permanently. If you want it permanently, just change this parameter as like this. Okay, I just skip this now. So hope you have got an idea, and this is how we create and write puppet manifest file to manage our infrastructure servers. But now we have written some syntax like programming. Okay, but now it doesn't require any programming skills. There are 3000+ modules are available ready, which are created by developers to meet our requirement. Hence, we don't need to write any programs. These manifests are bundled as a modules to perform some automation task. Hence, we don't need to write any program further. And I will explain you in the next video how to download and use those modules offline and online. If you find this video is helpful, please do appreciate our efforts and hit like button and share with your friends about us, LAN IT Guide. And thanks for watching the video of LAN IT Guide.net tutorials.